Finally, we see that Hunter Sung Jin-Woo has returned to the hospital and is back to his daily routine. At the moment, he is doing abs exercises, marveling at how much his body has improved. Afterward, he begins doing push-ups, sweat pouring down his face. Just then, one of the nurses enters the room apologizing for dropping by unannounced. She is visibly impressed by his muscular physique, unable to take her eyes off his body. She wonders if he had such a physique when he first arrived. She then informs him that today is his last day in the hospital and that he's being discharged. Taking the opportunity, she asks for his phone number. At first, Hunter Sung Jin-Woo is confused, unsure of why she needs his number. However, he quickly concludes that she must be planning to send him the results of his tests. So he gives her his phone number. Afterward, we are shown Hunter Sung Jin-Woo's sister Jinna waking up. Hunter Sung Jin-Woo asks her if she's going to school. She notices something about her brother's body and asks if he has started working out. She also points out that he's gotten a little taller than before. He doesn't say anything in response, but instead tells her to bring an umbrella. She protests, saying she doesn't need one, but Hunter Sung Jin-Woo pulls her back and places the umbrella in her backpack. Once Jinna leaves, the scene shifts. A window suddenly appears by his side, notifying him that he has completed today's daily quest. He notices that after these daily exercises and the improvements in his performance, his body has actually gotten stronger and better. In the main window, his measurements appeared, showing the increase in his strength. Looking at his status, it was clear that strength was now the dominant attribute among all his abilities. He started to worry about getting overly pumped, ending up like those bodybuilders who focus solely on muscle mass. Despite his strength, he noticed that all his other attributes were on the same level. He began thinking about which characteristics were most interrelated and which ones he should prioritize for improvement. This time, he didn't pour all his points into strength. He also invested a few into perception and endurance. He left 8 points in dexterity, as he knew strength and dexterity were closely related and would complement each other well. While he was distributing his attribute points, his phone rang. Naturally, he picked up. It turned out to be his tenant, who asked why he hadn't been answering their calls lately. He replied that he had been hospitalized due to an accident, which didn't seem to surprise the tenant. The tenant then informed him that the rent was due. Apparently aware of Hunter Sung Jin-Woo's situation, the tenant immediately offered to postpone the rent payment until the next month. However, with Hunter Sung Jin-Woo having gone through some kind of reawakening and becoming stronger, money was no longer a concern for him. He believed that soon he would be able to rise to the ranks of top hunters, but for that he needed more dungeon hikes to gain experience and acquire more magic crystals. However, he now faced a problem. The expensive and truly valuable crystals were dropped by high-ranking monsters, which could only be found in high-ranking dungeons. These dungeons wouldn't allow E-rank hunters like him to enter. Having never been to a dungeon above D rank before, Hunter Sung Jin-Woo found himself thinking about his next steps while watching TV. He considered approaching a TV studio to offer a report on the hunter who had suddenly risen in rank. However, he also weighed the potential consequences of revealing his reawakening. If he reported it, there would be questions about how he had gained such power, and he wasn't ready to reveal all his cards just yet. For now, he decided it was best to focus on making some money. Then we are shown a building where Hunter Sung Jin-Woo had arrived to make some money. As he entered, he was met by a crowd of hunters similar to him who were likely preparing to go on a raid. The hunter who approached him, apparently the leader of the group, asked if he was an E-rank. Hunter Sung Jin-Woo confirmed that he was. At that moment, one of the other hunters spoke up, saying that he knew him. He then reminded Hunter Sung Jin-Woo of his old nickname, Weakest Hunter. The squad leader calmed him down, explaining that they were focused on quantity. It took a certain number of people to enter a C-rank dungeon and above. So Hunter Sung Jin-Woo was being called in just as a pot staff. He wouldn't need to fight. In exchange for simply joining their ranks, this squad, consisting of 5 C-rank hunters and 4 D-rank hunters, was willing to pay him. We are then shown the rule. When entering a C-rank gate, the number of hunters required must be at least 10, with at least half of them being C-rank. While Hunter Sung Jin-Woo was familiarizing himself with the contract, the group waited for his decision. Someone approached him. It was D-rank hunter Yoo Jin-ho, who had also been called for the stakeout, just like Hunter Sung Jin-Woo. Hunter Sung Jin-Woo's face showed clear surprise at something. It turned out that Yoo Jin-ho was equipped with gleaming, seemingly very expensive armor, which caught his attention. As we can see, the only thing Hunter Sung Jin-Woo will have to do is carry their bag of supplies. This bag contains everything they might need for the raid, including food, spare equipment, and a first aid kit. Hunter Sung Jin-Woo noticed that there wasn't a single healer on the team. The head of the squad explained that none of the settlers wanted to join them for an E-rank dungeon raid. As a result, their team was made up entirely of tanks and bozos. Still, Hunter Sung Jin-Woo doubted whether he should accept the offer under such risky conditions. Seeing that Hunter Sung Jin-Woo was still uncertain about whether he should join the raid, the other hunters reassured him, telling him not to worry about anything. They assured him that they would handle everything themselves. With that, the squad leader finally announced the start of the raid. Yoo Jin-ho patted Hunter Sung Jin-Woo on the back, telling him not to worry. Since Sung Jin-Woo was an E-rank, Jin-Ho reassured him that in a pinch he could protect him. However, from the look on Hunter Sung Jin-Woo's face, it was clear that he didn't fully trust Yu Jin-Ho.